Hey guys, welcome back to another gameplay of Diablo 3, Rise of the Necromancer. As I mentioned the last time, I changed my internet connection to be slightly better than what's available. So here we are. Now everything's working smoothly.
Kingsport, the city by the sea, home to the great merchant fleets and endless nets of reeking fish.
And your trade?
I am between jobs at the moment.
Dishonest jobs, I'd expect.
Nonsense. I am the most honest thief you will ever meet. Wanted, one relic, scarlet, roughly the size of a man's fist. It was stolen 2 months past during a deplorable theft from the Merchants Guild Bank. Those apprehended were not in possession of the item. The relic is greatly missed by its rightful owner, who offers a reward for its safe return.
How can you waste so much time pursuing women?
Waste? Time is scarcely better spent.
No, you still lack companionship, even now.
I've only found one worth keeping, but she slipped away from me.
What happened?
I'd rather talk about the ones I caught and didn't want.
Okay.
Back at your forge already.
Work needs doing. No one is going to do it for me.
You were quite upset about Mira.
I don't want to talk about my wife. Dead is dead, and...
Tell me of your father.
My father was a diplomat. We had a manor in Chaldeum with servants' terraces, all of that. Everything changed when the trouble started. Somehow, rumors spread that my grandfather was responsible for the king's madness. My father's work fell apart. No one would speak to him. He kept believing it would blow over, though.
But it was not to be.
No. I'd rather not talk about it now, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, Diablo cost a lot of people a lot of stuff.
The World Stone was an ancient artifact of immense power. It was used not only to create our world, but also to control mankind. The original humans were known as the Nephilim, and their power was such that it was feared they would tip the balance in the eternal conflict between the high heavens and the burning hells. So the World Stone was tuned to lessen our powers, turning mankind into what we are today. But now that it has been destroyed, it is conceivable that the powers of the Nephilim will reappear.
The second piece is safe. But I do not know where the last one has fallen.
I remember a glow streaking towards a fishing village.
That must be Wortham.
Ah, brilliant, dear Leah. Have the ferryman take you there.
I actually imagined when I read it the first time that she said, then we must pursue, so I guess she said it's Wortham. Anyway, let's go ahead and get his book if it still exists. Actually want to get all the lore text, but to do that, we'll go explore Leah's bedroom. I guess there's nothing to explore. Let's go then. Relics to identify, which, having promptly done, we will go to Hadrig and craft everything to whatever we want. No. Maybe, but not really. Legendary belt. Take it. I'm not taking anything two-handed, mind you. Take that. Ooh. Nice boots. Now we got all sorts of rare equipment. Whatever pushes our damage up through the roof is welcomed by me. Okay, guys, melt everything, burn everything. Okay. Show me what you have. 130, 35. Ooh, we got a different phylactery here. And a decent sieve. It's not exactly great, but it's decent. With a slot? Dude, seriously? Well, of course, it improves our damage a lot. It gives us 4 maximum essence, which is like awesome. We'll get one more just to see what it's like. I think I'll still take the one with the slot, really. Okay.
Don't we have important things to be doing?
Nah. No. No. Ooh, quick draw belt. Yeah, vigilante belt, so it's okay, I guess.
The darkness grows while we stand about.
But we'll continue standing about. Now shut up. We can actually put together some legendary items, but set items, but there's no big difference right now. Ooh, Wall of Bones. That's pretty awesome. It's also very typical of a Necromancer. Okay, we're not gonna do anything there, guys. Okay, now here's my question. If we put a ruby in an offhand... Okay, so weapon, helm, other. So this is not considered a weapon, is it? This is one hand. Oh, well, I don't know. I don't think it'll be considered a weapon. We can just put it in there. Yeah, it's considered other. So... Naturally, put that, we can get more intelligence, we can get more resistance.
I have some new items that I'm certain you'll love.
I'm sure you're
Oh,
certain.
there she goes again. Were I not a happily married...
I was thinking.
Don't think. Hey, Covetous.
I can see the fires even from here. Wortham burns. It is only the truly evil who force the innocents to suffer for a battle they have no part in.
Well, I'll try to take care of it. Spend money on something, guys. That's alright. We're just basically smelting all our stuff. getting rid of the little things that we have. This makes for more efficiency. We will make up the money, guys, no problem. More rubies. The more we do this now, the less we have to do it later. Makes more sense to do it now. I just wish this bar would go a lot faster. It doesn't need to be so slow. But... oh god, come on. All the things in the world to give us trouble, it has to be the damn topaz. Okay, so we have 10 million in monies left, so let's keep going.
I seek passage to Wortham.
I will take you, but beware. Smoke rises from the village.
Alright guys, I've also increased the difficulty level to Torment 2, so this is gonna be really tough.
Destroying the town. Get out while you can. To those who defy the power. A glorious.
That needs to recharge. As long as they're fighting, we have a chance. Give it more time.
One of the men retrieved a strange artifact in his nets. It looked like a hilt of an ancient blade, but I know it must be more. The fisherman argued with me, but I convinced him to leave it in the safety of the chapel, a holy place, or a holy relic.
Please, my family's hiding in the chapel with the rest of the townsfolk. We must get to them.
Don't run off! You'll get yourself killed!
I must wait.
Fools! You cannot keep the sword from me!
This is bad.
My servants will burn this town to ashes!
That's not bad if you
more
consider... Alright, I think I just missed there, guys.
I hear something coming.
Is really awesome because...
By all that is holy, do you see that enemy
That
over
needs
there?
to recharge.
That's why I really love this skill, because it allows us to deal a lot of damage very quickly to enemies who will die even faster because they're cursed.
Incredible feat!
Yeah, I know.
You saved us. We owe you our lives.
There is only one thing I would ask of you. I seek a sword fragment. Have you seen it?
We found it days ago. I wish we'd never brought it here. Come, I left Virgil to guard it. We will be glad to be rid of it.
I'm going back to Tristram to check on Uncle Deckard.
Magda!
While you were on your hero's errand here, I captured all 3 sword pieces and your friends.
I will put an end to this.
She's really a crazy one, isn't she? Alright guys, back to town. Oh dear. Hostage situation!
It's your choice, Cain. Either use your heraldric arts to repair the sword, or your dear Leah dies a horrible death.
Oh, this pain. this destruction? What is the sword to you?
To me, nothing. To my master, Belial, everything.
Uncle!
Your rage is overwhelming, girl. You win this round, but if the sword cannot be mine, I'll claim the one it's bound to. In the end, the blade shall be mine.
Uncle, you can't die.
Nothing can stop that now. But there is one last thing I must do. The sword must be made whole. Just as I suspected, the sword is of the high heavens. The stranger is an angel. Heed the journal. The truth lies within.
Uncle Deckard!
Oh no. Oh no.
What in the burning hells is happening around here? First the dead, and now dark cultists?
Oh
If only I could control this power, I could have saved him.
I do not know. There were others who were responsible.
Magda and her master Belial. The journal speaks of an angel falling from the heavens as the shadow rises from the abyss. The stranger is the key to all of this.
So it seems. I will search for him.
When my power erupted, I saw into Magda's mind for an instant. She's fled to the highlands. You can reach them through the caves above Wortham. You have to know, she'll be waiting for you.
I am prepared for that.
This damned power I have. Uncle Deckard said it came from my mother. He tried to teach me how to control it using his Herodric training, but it never really helped. He never gave up on me, though. He was a great man.
Yep. He really was. Okay guys, it's back to Wortham. We're gonna rip the holy living hells out of Magda, hopefully. Before that, we're gonna be perverts as usual and raid Leah's bedroom. Let's do this.
Uncle Deckard is gone forever. Remember the wonderful times we had together. Always off on another crazy quest. What will I do without him? He believed the stranger was an angel, but he is only a man. I always knew they were just stories. Uncle Deckard died for those stories.
I'm not so sure, Gus. I'm not so sure. Let's go.
This is a matter of honor now. We must not hesitate.
Agreed. Kill the buggers. What is it with these weird things?
I don't like the way that scoundrel looks at me.
Do not mistake foolishness for danger.
I'll be watching you.
So we're on Torment 2 guys, so things are gonna get a little bit difficult. Not that our frail skill is gonna let us handle pretty much Frailty Curse. So It's gonna let us handle pretty much anything they're throwing at us. We should also
My
level up pretty
queen
fast.
sings to me. Her music echoes from beyond.
Oh really? Oh god.
The air hangs
Spiders.
heavy with the ubiquitous spider is one of the oldest and most adaptable creatures in the world. It also seems to have acquired an unfortunate susceptibility to magic. When exposed, the arachnids will increase dramatically in size and even cast spells. Due to this hazard, I recommend staying out of dark places whenever possible.
Yeah, I hate this place.
I must wait.
Unimaginable! Your death nears!
That needs to recharge.
Rathma has blessed me.
12,000 damage, army of the dead.
I wonder what is in there.
That is one of the greatest benefits of having a frailty curse, that you can just tear open those golems like they don't even exist. Goblins, sorry. Yeah, lots of good equipment. Let's go, guys. Okay, before we... Oh,
You will make a fine corpse.
That needs to recharge.
yeah, the frailty weapon is going to become one of the most overused skills in this game, honestly, the frailty curse. It is incredibly overpowered. Killing things at 85% of their HP with all the other skills that Necromancer has. Yeah. I think it'll really shine in the challenge rifts as well, but at the moment I would say it's pretty high powered. Ooh. Okay, if I can... This funerary pig expands Siphon Blood to drain blood from 2 additional targets, which makes that skill the absolute go-to for our primary skill choice. Smooth as gleaming bone, this weapon could butcher corpse in a matter of seconds in right hands. Okay, so that's definitely what we're going for. When we can actually put a socket in it. It needs to have a socket, otherwise it's useless to us. We'll see how that goes.
I must wait.
Weakness consumes you.
That needs to recharge.
And we have our champions! Yep. Curse an army of the dead. Combine it for some incredibly huge damage numbers.
Don't disturb the eggs.
Don't care. About you, the eggs, or anything else, guys. Just
I used to be one of them. Ordinary, untouched, until her voice came to me. Then I knew how I must serve. I must kill the one who threatens my mistress and the dark power that created her. I have been chosen.
All sorts of lunatics in this day and age. We definitely need a weapon upgrade. If we can do that, we can increase difficulty levels and go truly astronomical. But we do need a weapon upgrade. Oh, we got a spear. A spear! A spear! Where is my spear?
Weakness
I remember
consumes
that dialogue
you.
from Zeus, I think. Master of Olympus, the city building game. A spear! A spear! Where is my spear?
I need aid. I must wait longer.
No, that almost killed us. Yeah, we are playing on higher difficulty, guys. We need to be careful. Play wisely.
I must wait.
Now, the only downside to the frailty curse is that there is a chance it will not apply, in which case you're still fighting an enemy to full health, but more often than not it does. And in which case you guys will toast your enemies like there's no tomorrow. Actually, we have unlocked quite a bit. We really should be looking at it. Really should be looking into the new skills. So there's a lot to explore out here. We barely begin to scratch the surface.
Not even a sweat.
What we should do, we really should raise those spiders to fight for us.
That needs to recharge. To recharge.
Of course, you have the army of the dead in case you really have to take care of a bunch of enemies. But I think revival would be a nice skill at this point, just for the force multiplier against the arachnids.
Chancellor Eamon, it is of the utmost importance that we secure my mana from the traitorous rabble in Tristram. The caves to the east are too close to my land. They must be blocked, completely obstructed. I believe the Archbishop Lazarus has magically bound some arachnids of late.
My mistress has accepted me. Come close and feel her loving embrace.
That is not going to end well. I must wait.
so there's the final place we have to go to. So we are going to go back and explore these areas. It's very rich in experience points. We need that. I'd actually like to increase the difficulty level, but I think we're at the point where we need a slightly stronger weapon. Maybe 500-ish. In order to truly survive. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna...
That needs to recharge.
A glorious development.
Level up! Level 32, we really should explore our new skill options. We're being macho.
Give it more time.
That's the one thing I like about Corpse Explosion, that it... Now, we have not actually tried... Yeah, anyway, I was saying that one thing I like about Corpse Explosion is the amount of damage that it can just suddenly do at any given moment's notice. Now, let's try the Golem's command ability, which is...
I must wait.
And that's basically what it does. It goes to the designated area and bursts into an ice nova, which then freezes the enemy for a certain amount of time.
I must wait.
And of course followed by enemy dead for that bit of extra.
Just won't go down easily. We have done it!
So the Necromancer is a combination of versatile high damage skills, really, all based upon the weapon damage that you can accrue. So all you really have to do is focus on really high damage crap. You can pretty much equip anything.
That needs to recharge.
Well, there's one thing I have with the perfect weapon in my hand, actually, the scythe that I'm using. But I need to see if I can put... once. Yeah, I need to see if I can put a socket in it, because if I can't put a socket, it kind of becomes useless. But if I can, it becomes my go-to weapon for a very long time until I find a higher grade version of the same weapon. What it does is it changes the Blood Siphon skill to affect 2 more targets.
I must admit that our king is no longer able to separate reason from madness. He orders the caverns to be filled with the Archbishop's monstrous creations, and will hear nothing else. Perhaps the legendary ancients themselves once dwelled there, but now we must desecrate their ruins.
Lazarus really did a number on everybody. Okay guys, before we go any further, I'm going to go back
I am returning to town.
Identify all my stuff. Find out which weapon I can use, check out my skills, and then fight Arene, I think her name is. But the most important thing right now is to find out if I can put a slot in the funeral.
I have some
pit.
new items that I'm certain you will love.
Put a slot in there, it's gonna be perfect. Okay. This is... No, that's fine. Yes, this one. It costs increasing amount of money to do that, but yes, we can. Yes, we can! You know what that does, guys? I'll show you guys exactly what that does right now. We'll just take this, remove gem, and now we can take, let's see, the rubies, covetous, the rubies. Can he forge a royal ruby? Does even more damage than this one, adds. Yes, we will now take this ruby and insert it into this scythe, which is one-handed and turns Siphon Drain into attack 2 additional targets, which makes that skill an awesome generator of power. We're gonna put that in. Boombox! And we just got a huge boost to our damage, made this character pretty awesome, and we could probably increase...
Poor Leah. She's done so much for us.
We could, that alone could probably allow us to increase our difficulty level to Torment 4, but we will see based on the performance. See how that goes, guys. Let's go to Hadrig. Okay, time to get rid of stuff we don't need. Increase Siphon blood damage by 10%. Considering that's what we're going to be using, yes, I will use that instead of the legendary belt. Increases Siphon blood damage by 13. Okay, so we're going to be replacing a lot of our stuff with, but the 100 intelligence that we have in there is pretty important as well. Okay, we'll do it. Try to put those somewhere else. Attack speed. Poison resistance. Okay, not great, but okay. Intelligence damage, chance to deal, reduce your taunts increases by 10% for every enemy afflicted by one of your curses. No thank you. Thorns has never been one of my favorite go-to stats in Diablo.
I'm afraid not.
Got an amulet. Okay, it deals vitality, 5 to 10 damage, uses cooldown of all skills. Alright, we'll take it.
When virtue tarries, evil smiles.
Now when we break down a legendary equip or socketed equipment, we get the gem back, so we don't have to worry about losing the gem. Okay, can we forge anything worth forging? Stop roaring. Nah. Now we're good in terms of the weapon. Okay. Actually pretty good, guys. Nah, okay. Nope. Nope. We're good. Okay, so we want to see if we can put a socket in here. We can. Thank you. We will take it. And in the socket, I'll put a big fat gem. That'll give us even more damage against our enemies. There we go. More intelligence is equal to more damage. Right, I think we're done, guys. Good stuff. Also, enemies reduce cold damage. We need to put in more resists. So we're gonna do that right now. Throw them all in there. Yes, I'm also gonna get a gem because we can socket it into our amulets and make some pretty mad use of that. Let's see, each hit done, socket into jewelry. Okay. Each hit done increases healing received by 1%. No. Spend resource on a channel skill. I don't think Blood Siphon requires the spending of a resource. It's kind of the problem with that. No. Increase damage of your pets by 15%. That would be pretty awesome. Use attack speed 1% dodge by 50 for 4 seconds. This effect stacks up to 15 times. Aha. Increase damage of primary skills by 25%. This is actually looking to be pretty good. Look at these. Regenerate life. No. Increase damage against enemies under effects of control. No. Damage you deal is increased by 4 for every 10 yards between you and the enemy hit. No. 35% of all damage taken is staggered and dealt. No, thank you. Poison all enemies. Hit for 0% weapon damage. Jesus Christ. Generates. Okay, I'll take that too. Percent chance. 3,000%. Do now, guys. Do now. Okay. I'm socket to jewelry here, but. Jewelry. Prime poison all enemies hit first 2,000% weapon damage. Okay, we'll take this. Cool. It'll be mad enough to last us for a very long time. Okay, so we have to go back and face Arane, but before that, skills. Bone spikes now have bone pillar, or we can go with leaves of splash, remove movement speed. Cold damage. No, but what we want is Siphon Blood. Anyway, we're going to take a look at the mods, of course. Siphon Blood generates 15 essence each time damage is dealt. Now, with the pick that we are wearing, it's going to go to 3 targets. Bloodsucker pulls on all health globes, and enemies are also slowed by 75%. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, we'll take that. Frailty. Alright, let's take a look at the Decrepify runes. Enfeeblement, increased potency of the movement reduction speed to 100% to normal potency over 5 seconds. Okay, Leech now has Osmosis. Each cursed enemy increases your life regeneration 15 per second. No thanks. Frailty has Scent of Blood. Cursed enemies take 15% increased damage, and cursed enemies explode for 100% weapon damage on health. Interesting. Scent of Blood is what we're gonna ultimately keep, because the cursed enemies take 15% increased damage. It makes a lot of sense. Corpse Explosion now has Close Quarters, which into 5 corpses close to you, dealing 525% weapon damage as poison to enemies within 20 yards. So instead of going for area target, it will now become 5 corpses close to us. No thanks. Even with the increased damage, doesn't make any sense. Devour. Life additionally consumes your minions for 10 essence. Jesus. Okay, Revive has Personal Army, which is damage taken is reduced by 1% for each revived minion active. We have a corpse enemies within 20 yards run in fear for 3 seconds. Damage dealt is turned to poison. No thank you. Okay, we have to look at the other skills available. Bone Armor now has Vengeful Armament Rune, which increases damage, and enemies that are also stunned. It turns the Bone Armor into poison. Bone Spirit.
I cannot follow you if we just stand around.
Oh, shut up, Cormac. Launches a Bone Spirit that will seek enemies. Deals 4,000 weapon damage as physical and impact. Unique charge every 15 seconds and you store up to 3 charges. Recharge is reduced by 1 second for each corpse you consume. Okay. Damage is increased by 15% for each enemy that Bone Spirit passes through while seeking its target. Damage turns into cold. Doesn't seem to have a cooldown. I see. This makes an interesting thing for us to use, actually. There's also Blood Rush. Costs 5% health. Shed your mortal flesh and reappear up to 50 yards away. Jesus, it's like an escape spell. Okay, and then we have Bone Spear, which now has 2 more runes. Each enemy hit this crystallization has their attack speed reduced by 20% and your attack speed is increased by 3% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. Bone Spear damage turns into cold. Okay, we also have Shatter. Instead of piercing, now detonates on the first enemy hit. 500% weapon damage is physical to all enemies within 15 yards, so it's like a bomb spear. Mage now has Archer and consumes all essence to summon a powerful minion. The minion's damage is increased by 3% for every point of essence consumed, but it still lasts only 6%. 6 seconds. Death Noah. That's nothing different. Okay. Okay, so I want to keep Corpse Explosion because let's face it, it's pretty awesome. Come Command Skeletons has a new rune, which is Dark Mending. Skeleton minions will heal you for 0.5% of your total health. No thanks. Command Golem is pretty much that only. Army of the Dead has Blighted Grasp. Skeleton lands raised from the ground, damaging enemies with 15 yards for 14,000 weapon damage. Which is poison. Christ, that is overpowered. Now, I really want to use Frailty Curse. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try Bone Spirit. I guess this thing can do some serious damage. Well, he can. 4,000 is like insane damage. Okay guys, we have more passives. Let's take a look. Increase the duration of your skeleton mage and revive minions by 25%. It's like about 8 seconds, odd 7.8 seconds. Rigor Mortis. Poison abilities also slow enemies by 30%, reduce their attack speed by 30% for 5 seconds. Okay. Overwhelming Essence, increase your maximum essence by 40. Oh yes, please. Dark Reaping, while using a Sith, gain 2% essence and life per kill. Using a scythe, which we have. Okay, so I'm gonna shake this now. Okay, alright guys, let's go fight Aranek. I really want to use this Bone Spirit to find out how awesome it is. Well, that's not very awesome, but okay. And when we use a corpse, yeah, that decreases the cooldown, decreases the recharge time of the Bone Spirit charges, which is like awesome.
Help me. It's horrible. She sucks the innards from her victims. Oh, no. No. It's too late. I hear her. The Spider Queen is coming.
Spider Queen?
Well, that certainly is effective. That's what happens with the special legendary pick that we have. We take blood from 2 enemies at once, which is like pretty awesome.
I'm afraid not.
Actually does a very nice amount of damage. I'm not sure if I like Frailty Curse more. I want to keep Army of the Dead, but it certainly is pretty cool.
It was not my son.
Give it more time.
Rumor holds that Archbishop Lazarus loosed a silent terror in the caves near Leoric's manor before he died. He labored for weeks over a group of unusually large spiders, and many of his servants quietly disappeared during this time. The largest creature led the others into the caves. None who have ventured there have returned.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we please leave this horrible place?
Sure.
It was terrible being stuck in there like that. Thank the gods you came along. What are you doing out here?
I am looking for a man who was taken prisoner by the Coven.
The Coven? I saw them dragging someone into Leoric's manor house. Perhaps it was the man you seek. You might have a small bit of trouble reaching there, though. I'm not proud of this, but I stole the staff of a powerful Khazra shaman. The Khazra went mad and chased me to the caves. You can find the staff in my cart in the highlands. If you take it to the Khazra barricade, perhaps they will let you pass.
Well, we could just kill them all.
These lands once belonged to the Crown.
I don't know, guys. I like Bone Spirit, actually. With Siphon Blood, it seems more like Frailty makes more sense, really, because of the reduced experience. Frailty makes a lot of sense overall. No matter what we do, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna change Army of the Dead. It's pretty awesome. We're gonna change it to Bone Spirit. Okay. Keep Bone Spirit with Astral Projection. We'll change the secondary skill to... okay, we'll change it to Frailty because... that also makes more sense, and we can launch the Bone Spear every time we need to. Kind of why it just makes... it just ruins the distance right there. You apply the curse to them and then just drain the guys to bits and pieces. The fact that you can just hold the mouse button in a single click and kill everything. You don't even have to use the curse. There's why.
I must wait. This world can abide you no longer!
The drums allow the Khazra to summon reinforcements, and we just turn them into shit, so we're good as far as that goes.
The local Khazra tribes have become a serious threat. They attack caravans and are moving into areas where they haven't been seen before. We need you to take care of this problem for us. We'll pay 25 gold pieces for every Khazra head you bring back.
Not sure that went very well. Oh dear. No lag problem. Lost our Nephilim Valor because of it, but...
give it more time. You will make a fine corpse.
That's why I like corpse
My
explosion.
master would take pride in this.
So do I, so do I.
That needs to recharge.
Care of that problem. Where are you going? Okay. Well, Bone Spear is certainly pretty cool. Not Bone Spear, sorry. Bone Spirit deals a lot of damage. And using it as fourth skill along with Amplify certainly seems to do the job pretty well. Alright, Cabin. What possible use are you guys against a huge army, huh? Army of the Dead. Bonus movement speed! Yes, thank you very much. Minions are pretty good at soloing anything. These levels actually. We should be okay.
Could we find more like that?
Sure, if you're up for it. Got tons of enemies. There's one thing Diablo 3 is full of, is enemies, enemies, enemies!
These enemies defy all reason!
Actually see them is part of the problem. Oh well, minions!
How are criminals treated in your land?
There are no criminals among the priests of Rathma, though outsiders may see us in that light.
It grieves me to hear that.
Astute ring. Yeah, we need some socketed rings so we can put in more gems. But right now, we got this nice jewel here that hits every enemy for 2000% weapon damage. Like, awesome. Okay, let's go to level 2.
I must wait.
This world can abide you no longer!
Yeah. The pick that I'm using, the United Legends of it's turned the blood siphon skill into something uber. The funerary pick. It allows the siphon blood to drain from 2 targets. It just makes things so much better. Overall.
I must wait.
Yeah, I really like blood siphon with the funerary pick. A lot of gold. Not as much as we would normally do. Okay, when we go to higher difficulty, I'll probably increase it.
I have trained well.
This is called cheating, really. bones?
I'm afraid not.
Do this with all the problem children very quickly, I think. Welcome to the tomb. That's it, guys. We're done with this place. Let's go. It's actually pretty good. We've reached level 35, which is awesome. Torment 2. I think we can increase the difficulty of the ones in maybe Torment 4. Maybe.
Give it more time.
Now, one thing is that frenzy doesn't affect everybody.
That is not possible.
Our just reward!
I must wait.
Corpse explosion all the way, guys. Corpse explosion all the way. Wave of the moon cloud. Did we come in here? Nope. Let's do it.
Give it more time. Do not fear the end.
I don't think any of these monsters are afraid to throw themselves. It's gotta be staple food along with food.
All must serve the cycle.
Long fight!
Give it more time.
Actually, if you look at our resistances now, we apply only 37 resist all, 74% damage reduction from enemies of our skill level. This is awesome.
You will make a fine corpse.
Massive explosion! And the main plan is certainly to run out of members by the end of our tour here.
That is not possible.
I still take hits though. But if you, we need more health too as well at this level.
Do not fear the end.
Holy Spirit really does a lot of damage. 4,000% weapon damage is pretty damn awesome. I think we just basically turned the Moon Clan to Lunar Eclipse Clan.
Long I have labored to master the dark arts. Now I finally reap the rewards. For Magda has acknowledged me. She promised me a special task that will bring endless glory to the Great One. I can hardly rest until she reveals it on the morrow.
I do not understand how evil.
Why would your order alter your memory?
Our initiation blinds us to our sinful pasts, so that we might clearly see the future and prepare for the final battle.
How?
I was chained to a wall and beaten. By the third day I was mad from pain and hunger. And that is when the whipping began. I was told I relived all of my transgressions, everything that brought me tainted joy. The whip took away that joy, and the sea, leaving me pure.
That was torture, not ascendance. Meditation and study sufficed.
Don't you understand? The Templar Order is trying to protect humanity from extinction. What is my pain against that goal?
You're an idiot, Cormac. That being said, we'll sing worse.
This art is denied to you.
Too late, fool. I control these spirits now.
Magda is a fool. I will raise an army of souls from these primitives and chain them to my invincible will. Yes, with these heathens
My
at
bag
my
is
command,
full.
the kingdoms of the world shall bow to the might of the Lord of Goats! I may have to work on the title a bit more.
And imagine so, Lord of Goats.
There is no room.
Lord of Goats. Okay. Lord of Goats. Well, I'll take the siege lock. We are certainly something different. It's powerful warriors alive. I think the Necromancer trumps the Witch Doctor, at least in the early game.
overburdened.
We are over full with loot, guys. We need to leave. We need to
Is
get
that all?
a slightly better weapon as well, actually, but I don't want to change this weapon that I'm using, the funerary pick, unless and until I get similar version that is this good.
This world can abide
That
you
needs
no
to recharge.
longer. That needs to recharge. The night embraces you. Now perish.
I have to say one thing about
I am overburdened.
using Bone Spear. Honestly, it does a fantastic job of tearing the heck out of bosses. It rips them to pieces, really.
I must wait.
Say guys, the fact that I'm not really talking so much is something to take that how much fun this game is now. This particular class is. It's certainly, the intensity is picked up in Torment 2. I'm having a lot of fun playing it.
Give it more time.
I don't like the look of that.
Fabulous, really. We need a lot of health globes. Okay guys, now before we go forward and go into the Khazar camp, I'm going to go back to camp and dump some of my stuff because I've got a lot of stuff.
That is ours on the side. Khazar, Darkers!
Yeah, I don't think so.
I am returning to town.
Even the Khazar ambush is no use against our absolutely incredible power. What will really make this class overpowered is revealed. Oh yeah. Whew. That is pretty cool. Anyway. No. No. Yeah, we'll take this instead of that ring. No. Okay, that actually sounds pretty cool. I'm using any of those skills. Okay, legendary, the helmet. Alright, so, yep, I think we can finally change the helmet to something more necromantic. Oh well. Let's see. No. No, nothing interesting here. Now that is cool, actually. So wizards, honestly, it's not for us. Okay, we can melt everything to bits. Okay, think we're good? We are. Alright, let's go be perverts again, going to Leah's bedroom.
You know what I'll miss about old Kane? How he'd...
Guys, let's go into the Khazra Den. Khazra camp, or whatever this thing is.
That needs to recharge.
It's just ridiculous. Come on, I
have trained well.
Now level 39. We really should check our skills, guys.
That was invigorating.
Okay, let's take a look at our skills. Boom Sight has a new cursed set. Enemies get better, so they have a 15 chance. Inflicted with a random curse. No thanks. Siphon Blood is power shift. Damage is increased by 10% each time damage is dealt, maximum 2% stack. Okay. We'll lose this. Frailty. Okay, Decrepify his options. Gain 3% movement speed for every enemy cursed. To 30%. Blood Flask. Whenever a cursed enemy dies, your potion cooldown is reduced by 1 second. And the Aura of Frailty becomes an aura that curses all enemies within 15 yards. And thus is affected by the gold pickup radius. So we'll go with that. Okay. Corpse Explosion now has Shrapnel. Corpses now explode from you hitting all targets in a cone. Explosion turns into poison, which is pretty cool, but do I really want a cone? Nah. Keep a Corpse Lance, just ricochet. 20% chance to add one additional target. Devour has an aura that consumes all corpses. 15 yards to restore 11 essence per corpse. Range of this effect is increased by 50% of your gold pickup radius. Purgatory. Reload minis degenerate back into usual corpse. Okay. It's not really great and all. Let's see. Army of the Dead now has Death Valley. Skeleton Army knocks all affected enemies towards the center. Okay, and Land of the Dead. All corpse skills can be used at will for 10 seconds. I see. Okay, then we have Bone Armor, which has limited immunity. Armor absorbs all permanent damage and grants immunity to all control impairing effects, but only for 5 seconds. Blood Rush, which now has potency, increases your armor by 100% after casting. Okay. Death Noah now has Blight. Leave a lingering patch of blight on the ground, slowing enemies by 60% and causing them to do 50% less damage. Right, we'll continue using Corpse Explosion with Bloodiness. With the increased results. Come on, Skeletons gets Frenzy. Healing, and now Freezing Brush. The target of your command is frozen for 3 seconds. Sounds good. Come on, Golem. Now, Bone Golem. The Golem becomes a tornado bomb for enemy enemies to go out of his location. Stuns them for 2 seconds. 2,000 weapon damage. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that is a good one. Bone Spirit now has Panic Attack. Enemies will heal for 2 seconds when Bone Spirit detonates. Turns into poison. No. Thanks. I still have to find out exactly what the point of Land of the Dead is. Now, Frailty is now an aura, which means everything is cursed without us having to cast it. So it needs to be there in our skill slot, so there's nothing we can do. We have a new passive skill for Spreading Malediction. Receive a 1% damage bonus for each enemy afflicted by one of the curses. Sounds good. I don't instead of maximum essence we'll use this. So we have a curse aura. Makes sense. There we go. That's the radius of our aura. So as long as we're within that aura, everything will be cursed. So range is affected by 50% of our pickup radius. So that's something to remember, guys. Everybody be affected. Come on, everybody be affected.
All must serve the cycle.
And because everything is cursed, we also, using our passive, we get a pretty hefty damage bonus as well. As you see here, 1% damage bonus for each enemy afflicted by the curse. You can get anywhere from 10%, 20, 30%. You just have to afflict them with curses.
I could do that again!
We just need to increase our gold find radius to have an incredibly high area of effect skill for it. % of gold pickup radius, yeah. So any equip that puts in more gold pickup radius is going to increase that exponentially.
Prepare for a long fight!
The number that you see when you use Blood Siphon is basically the charges that accumulate, guys, which increase damage stack. That's what you see over there. It stacks up to 100%. here to the rescue. Well done. So remember guys, gold pickup radius. We have the benefits that increase gold pickup radius. 50% of that will be the aura effect radius of our skills. And that's not just the skill, it's any skill. More armor though, honestly. But with enough damage we shouldn't care about that sort of thing. Still, I'd like to know that I'm safe. Level 40 guys, 30 more levels to max out. You had the braying of goats in the background? Jesus. I'm glad Blizzard did not give the Necromancer immunity.
My loutish companions have no curiosity about the Khazra. They're only interested in the bounty on their heads. But I am convinced the Khazra can be communicated with. It is dangerous, to be sure, but it is a risk I am willing to take.
Mistress, it is my pleasure to report that I have broken the prisoners from Wortham. Words have flowed from their mouths like blood from a wound. Our summoners can retrieve the weapon at your command, and the enemy shall be none the wiser.
Followers some new weapons.
They call to their allies. That should put an end to it.
The Bone Spear does do a lot of damage to any
that
enemies.
was a worthy foe!
We just reached level
Glorious!
41. Awesome! One thing that the aura does, if we don't have a big enough radius, is that we have to get in close and personal, which will be a problem if we don't have enough vitality to survive. Combined with life per second, life per hit, and life per kill mods, the Necromancer is really well suited to one of the lifesteal builds, honestly. It's got all the balls to do it and all the skills to do it with. Blood Siphon with the right equipment is a tremendous asset in any arsenal. Really should do something about this. Alright, increase it, make it more effective.
Of course they'd be drawn here.
Whoa, it's the Scissors of Doom!
No.
So that was our golem skill, guys. Let me just try that again. Going forward, it makes the golem turn into a sort of cyclone. And once he turns into a cyclone, he deals over 2,000
Thank you for helping me
damage
fight
per
the darkness.
second.
To contend with evil is the essence of what it means to be a Templar.
In all things, there must be balance.
That's our like go-to line for the Necromancer. In all things, there must be balance. Blah 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 blah. Okay, into Leoric's Manor, guys. Let's go.
The night embraces you.
Actually, my corpse explosion embraces you quite completely.
Glory to you.
Purify rune. With the dead rune.
There is a new piece to the game. A girl named Leah. My spies tell me she is the child of the witch Adria, who is hiding in the deserts of Chaldeum. Bring this news to the Master at once.
Corpse explosion now freeze all enemies caught in it for 2 seconds. Which we will gladly accept. Let's take a look at others as well. Blood rush now is transfusion. And nothing really good. Okay, we'll take this one. The exploding cold is kind of interesting. Command Golem now has DK Golem. Golem consumes corpses at the targeted location, increasing its damage by 30% per corpse. But for how long? No, I'll keep the Bone Golem. Army of the Dead is new and unconventional warfare. Skeletons, holy Jesus, will rise from the ground and have random targets of 50,000%! Total weapon damage is physical over 4 seconds. Jesus. insane. That is insane. We'll keep on going. Yeah, I think we're good. Oh, we now have a new passive skill, which is Eternal Torment. Seems to cost 50% less essence. And last forever. Okay. Take 100% per damage and final service. Oh, I missed that, guys. Sorry. When you take lethal damage, you're sustained, preventing all damage for a second. So additional enemies are consumed. You need for 10%. No thanks. Take this. Your curses last 50% forever and cost 50% less essence. We'll take that. Allows us to have this frailty last forever. We'll take this one. This will be pretty cool. So exploding peoples.
She's unstoppable! No mortal could slaughter our brethren with such ease!
She is here!
Your arrogance knows no bounds.
Delay her while I prepare her demise in the depths below.
Do you ever shut up?
Yeah, she doesn't until we put a sword through her ass.
They did horrible things to us.
Peace will come soon. Have they brought in a new prisoner?
Yes, the man with the golden eyes. I saw Magda take him into Leoric's old torture chambers below us.
I see.
Well, guys, we're ready. Left into this video, so we'll try to finish it up as fast as possible. Now that our frailty is back to being
evil wears no disguises here.
And the simple fact that we can, once we cast it, it is forever.
I must wait.
Flesh from her foes.
Using our skeleton minions, we can freeze the target for 2 seconds. And the unlimited curse allows the target to just explode into literal pieces, really. Cast your curses, guys. Always remember to cast your curses. Isn't the halls of agony where we face the butcher?
I am convinced that some malevolent being is attempting to wrest control of my thoughts away from me. Voices direct me to horrendous acts, and there are times when I seem unable to control my body. Lazarus knows. This is certain. He looks at me strangely when he thinks me otherwise disposed.
That is not possible. I have long waited for this knowledge.
I guess we have some new skills. Let's take a look at those very quickly. Bone spikes. Pop of bones. Now unleashes a line of spikes that do 100% physical damage is up to 100% for those further away. It's bone spikes for you. And you're still doing a lot of damage this way, so we'll just keep it, I think. Revive as a new rune, which is Recklessness. Minions deal an additional 25% damage for the last 10 seconds. Damage dealt is turned into cold, no thanks. Round dead now is frozen around, so thank you.
That needs to recharge. That is not possible.
Killing the goblins takes absolute priority, guys. Okay guys, I'm gonna stop the gameplay here for today because we are out of time in this gameplay video. We will continue this next time. My name is Jaidev Keshavan and this playthrough has been brought to you by Razorlight Entertainment. Take care everybody, see you guys next time. God bless you all. Peace.